Hey everybody, Edgewind here, back with another Edges Cutting review. You'll recognize on the table here the Applejack Katana, a very good sword, made of 1060 carbon steel, forged. If you remember from the previous video, I stated I was unsure whether there was a hamon on the sword or not, and I attributed that to my visual impairment. For those of you who are watching for the first time on our channel, I am legally blind, so certain details can kind of escape me. Now, it turns out that Swords of Northshire also saw this video, and they told me that no, in fact, there was no hamon on this blade, even though that we had ordered a straight hamon to go along this edge right here. Now, Swords of Northshire was very, very cool about it. You know, they sent us, they sent me, as I was the purchaser, not ruiner. I do all the, I tackle the financial end of this endeavor. They send me photos of the swords as soon as they're done, while they're still at the forge, and that way, if we have any last minute changes we want to make, we can say, yes, we want this done, or no, we don't want that done, and so on and so forth, and then they get shipped out. Now, because of my visual impairment, I thought there was a hamon there, but because it's straight, it just wasn't showing up well on my eyes, and that was my fault. But Bryce was very cool, and worked with me on this, and they did not make any excuses. They were very polite about it, and their customer service was just exemplary. And they gave us a great discount on the next sword that we ordered. And I just want to point that out to you all. If there is an issue, there's ways for you and for them to prevent it, so take full advantage of that. But just know they're not going to be a pain in the neck about it. They'll admit when they're at fault, and they're just really, really wonderful to work with. And the discount really helped, because we're going to get to something that's just super cool. And now on to our next sword. And here is our next sword. Yeah, look at that. That is one sweet bag right there. Okay, review's done. No, I'm just kidding. Alright. What we got here, we got a nice display box for this one. We thought we'd show off one of the display boxes they've got here. Most of your swords, they come with a spare pins here for holding your handle in place. Very cool. Felt lined with foam in there. Protects the sword quite well. It's a simple box, leather strap, all that. And the bag itself, these bags are beautiful. But just give me a second here.
Time to do some editing.
Yep. The power of editing, this will go by so fast. Now, I'd like to point out for the bag itself, beautifully detailed. Can you see that?
Yeah. Beautifully
detailed, very, very soft on the outside. On the inside, it's even softer. So if you have let's say you've got a sheath that's got lacquer on it, this is going to protect that. All right, can you get refocused back out on the big picture?
Yep.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
All right. Now, this next sword, this one, Runer has been waiting with bated breath for. He helped me design this one, just like the Applejack one. And for those of you who are fans of the game Fighting is Magic, you will remember the items that never made it into the game, such as Pinkie Pie's Party Cannon or Fluttershy's Wakizashi. Yes, I'm just kidding. But no, this is a Fluttershy Wakizashi we designed this time. You'll notice we went with a katatemaki, or battle wrap, for the handle here, with this lighter yellow Suka Ito wrapping and green Same underneath. It's a very handsome sword all the way around, but one of the things I like, and as I've said before, I'm not a fan of fancy lacquer sheaths because they get banged up a lot. I'm just hard on swords sometimes, I'll admit that. But this looks absolutely beautiful. Can you see that pretty well?
Yeah.
Can you see the shiny?
Yeah, it's showing up well.
I love the shiny in this. It's really pretty. We've got a green Sageo cord, and just the detail work in this sheath. We wanted to go with a nature theme as best we could. For those of you who are bronies, you know what Fluttershy's color scheme is like, her mane, her coat, her eyes, all that. So it was a little tricky for us. We had to get kind of creative here. So there is no pink anywhere in this sword, despite us trying our very best.
There's a little pink on the very, well, I don't know. It's just the lighting.
Yes, lighting. Pinkie Pie is going to be a tough sword. We might have to custom paint that one ourselves. I'm just going to let let me show you the furniture on this one. Here is your pommel and your tsuba.
Let it focus. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, very, very, just beautiful sword. And very snug in the sheath. Now, if you'll notice, we went with a very ornate, the fuchi, the kashira, all that. We went something with very ornate here to give it just its own real beautiful. We tried to go with a nature look, and in my mind, this kind of looks like pebbles at the bottom of a river, don't you think?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to give this as much of a nature theme as I could, and Runer was, he has had his own ideas on that as well. And we upgraded the steel, as I said, with every sword that we do, we're going to do a different steel. Now, the Rainbow Dash sword was 9260 spring steel. The Applejack katana was 1060 steel. This is 1060 folded steel, and the blade style is slightly different. It's one of their other options. Let me reference something really, really super duper quick here, and you can fix this with the power of editing as well. Can you not?
Possibly.
The blade shape is TX-02. Now, one thing you will notice. Now, I'm gonna aim this towards the camera. If you can notice that the blade tapers in the back too, partially halfway down. Can you see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Alright. This actually makes the blade pretty light, very controllable. We've got a special kind of we ordered a different bohi this time around. You can see it goes up partially weighted the blade, and then a thinner one up this way, and that is bohi BH04. And we chose once again we decided to choose a hamon this time, and this one actually turned out right, of course, because not every single one of these is a total screw up. The hamon is RW02. Now, can the camera get a good look at that hamon, or should I angle it better?
A little bit more angled.
That better?
Yeah.
Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Alright. It's kind of is it an irregular, I can't really got a good look at it. Is it an irregular or a regular wave pattern?
Hold on. It's focusing. It's a wave.
Alright. Now, this is also an etched hamon. This is not a clay-tempered blade. But one thing that's really interesting, and I'm sure the camera can pick it up, you can see all the little wavy lines in the steel itself, right?
Yeah, right where I'm pointing at right now is a really good.
Yeah.
You get a really good. See, you can clearly see it.
That is the forge lines from the steel being folded and pounded out at extremely high temperatures, and that is pushing all the impurities out of the steel. Now, that is my understanding of how forging works, and if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments, but don't be a jerk about it. I'll just delete your comments and tell you suck. But you can see where this has actually been folded and forged into a true sword, which is why it's so light, and I guarantee you will be so sturdy. Now, we're going to be designing other swords in the future, but we are going to test out this sword, the Applejack katana, the Rainbow Dash katana, and my tactical Wakizashi, and we'll try testing out a few other blades if I feel they're worthy of the test. We did go with the sharp with Niku, like all of our swords. This is a very, very sharp blade, and it is just overall just beautiful. It handles great. It feels good in the hands. I have a soft spot for Wakizashis. I really do. I have a lot of katanas, I know, but Wakizashis for me, and forgive the joke here, Wakizashis for me are kind of a rarity because I find so few that I like. They're usually in sets of 3, and you see them at malls and cheap anime stores where it's like $20 for all 3 swords, and each sword is not worth the $2. It's not worth the stand that it's sitting on. So a nice Wakizashi is a really beautiful thing, and this is a very, very nice Wakizashi, and worthy of Fluttershy, that is for sure. She would never use it, I'm sure, but it would look very good hanging on her wall. And in an interesting way, samurai are very much in tune with nature, with insects and animals. You can see that in their armor. One of the most interesting cases of samurai armor I've ever seen was samurai armor that was actually rabbit-themed, believe it or not, like a certain bunny we know. But it represented playfulness in the face of death, of all things. So, yeah, I feel like this sword fits in very good. The Fluttershy motif and the samurai motif fit in pretty well together. But that's all for this video. We hope you've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed it. And I would actually like to pass things on to Ruiner real quick, because he definitely had a heavy hand in making this sword, and this is not one I am keeping. This sword is an early birthday gift to Ruiner, because I know around the time of his birthday will be Dragon Con, and I will have no money. So this is an early gift to him. And what are your thoughts on the sword and the way it came together?
Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked the nature motif that we went with. The only real thing is I kind of wish that they had a little bit more pronounced yellow for the wrap or something, because
Yeah, the Ito was kind of a palish yellow, and we couldn't use this. Well, we could have, but we really didn't want to use the same kind of yellow that we used on the Applejack katana.
And yeah, that's still not the right, because it's more
Orangey than anything.
Brown, orangey. Yeah.
Yeah, that fits more with Applejack's color scheme, but not so much for Fluttershy.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say, Ruiner's not a big sword guy like I am, but I will say that he definitely enjoys the creation aspect of this more than the actual sword itself. Because, I mean, you're an artist by nature, regardless of skill level, and you will always downplay your skill level. You are an imaginative person.
The thing that doesn't exist?
Yes, that. But you are an imaginative person, and having access to that catalog and the thousands of possibilities that you can do, I feel like you really enjoy that part of it.
It is fun.
Yeah, it is. And you can tell that he had a lot of fun putting this one together. And I know he is going to really enjoy having this in his personal collection. But that's all for this video. Offend us, Iris, and keep an eye out for this item to never appear in the never to be finished Fighting is Magic game.
Aww.
Yeah, so sad. See you guys next time. Offend us, Iris.
Later.